Welcome to the Waiting in Queue podcast, rated 5 stars on iTunes. But guess how many 5-star ratings we have?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
2.
We have 9. 9 people went onto iTunes and clicked on 5 stars. You know how many people clicked 4 stars? 0. 3 stars? 0.
Careful.
2 stars? 0. 1 star? 0. So
we're pretty popular.
Yeah, we're pretty popular. All the more reason to watch us because no one said anything bad about us yet so far.
Yeah, so share it around because we're gonna be famous. So.
Yes. So anyways,
let's get into the meat. Let's get into the meat, bones, and potatoes.
Yes. There's a lot of shit that happened this week.
Yeah, there was Cyberpunk's release, then there was Disney Plus announcing things, and then there was Game Awards, which I didn't watch.
I didn't watch them either.
And then there was
like who honestly cares?
I don't. Yeah, I don't care. They said all I will say about that is they said that what's that game called? Last of Us 2?
Yeah.
That's game of the year.
No, I'm not surprised.
Did they forget like Ghost of Tsushima got released and
Oh, they forgot about that?
Yeah, they must have because that's the game of the year in my mind.
In your heart.
Oh, I mean, it's the only game. It was a Japanese game made from a Western studio that sold more copies than like any Western studio game like ever, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Worldwide, that is. That's not just like United States or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, even like the guy who made Sekiro was like a Japanese studio should have made that. Like it was that good. But fuck the Game Awards. I said it.
Yeah.
But anyways, Cyberpunk came out and everybody's talking about Cyberpunk.
Yeah, game is pretty bad. Are we over a minute? Because Connor thinks it's over a minute instead of 30 seconds.
I think it's definitely 30 seconds.
It's 30 seconds. Okay, but we've been definitely over it. It's 3 minutes in. That game is badass. So far, I did the prologue. That's about as far. I did like maybe one other thing after. Kind of went through getting out of the prologue. Now I'm ready to do some fucking side quest.
You did the Johnny thing?
Where you're in the apartment and...
where you go back in time. It's like the
Oh, yeah. I did all that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was really cool. I was like shocked when you first walk out into the city, like in the prologue, and you see all those people and like... I
forgot. You just got down off this. That was the night you were playing. Me and the first night. And I was the first night. I came down the same thing, and then like how like bustled the city was. Yeah. I was like, even when we were playing, I was like, holy cow! There's so many people out on the streets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because I got caught off guard almost with it because, more recently than ever. Video games are doing the overhype, and dude, I saw a lot of YouTube videos and news that's like, why Cyberpunk's gonna succeed no matter what because of overhyping, and that's something that, not that Anthem overhyped, but Anthem.
Oh, Anthem definitely overhyped.
Well, yeah, they overhyped, but I don't know if they did it as much as like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk did a lot of fucking advertising and shit like that.
Yeah,
I'm cursing a lot, but I'm really excited about this game because I finally feel good about a release day purchase because Godfall was kind of a letdown. It was fun to play, but
it's boring.
As far as
it's
the
boring. Combat's awesome, but the game as a whole is boring.
Yeah,
it looks amazing. The combat's cool. The armors are cool. There's not enough though, and there's not enough customization. It's just boring.
Yeah, and then when you go over to Cyberpunk,
oh my god,
and they show you like. Yeah, maybe the showcase
graphics
are a little different, and they're always going to try and beef it up as best they can. Every game does it, but
it's marketing.
But as far as like how the world actually works and what they kind of advertise for that, like, the city's packed full of people. It's lively.
You can actually, in the settings, change the amount of people on your street.
Really?
Like you can dumb it down, and it probably helps graphical wise. Like if you're running on something small, but I like it that it's full. It just feels so.
I might turn mine down just a hair because I think there's a lot of like little too crowded. Because we lived in the city, we kind of know what it's like to be in a city. But with this universe could probably be dealing with overpopulation.
I don't know. Like think of Coruscant on Star Wars. Like it's the whole planet's pretty much a city. But like in Cyberpunk, it's so condensed in such a large city. That's why it's like super overpopulated. It's also like a Japanese-esque, Chinese-esque city as well in America. So it's like super overpopulated. But you can turn it down if you wanted to. See, I
don't know. Yeah, I kind of like it because you go to like some of the...
Dude, when you're like... Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
But like you're in like some of the lesser populated parts, you'll still see like a couple people. And dude, the detail they put into... Like, it's not just like... They put in a couple skyscrapers like Grand Theft Auto, which Grand Theft Auto is still a good game.
Yeah.
But like the detail and like going into rooms, it's a mess. It's unorganized, dude. When you do that, I don't know, that like scanning thing where you had to sit on the couch. The brain dance. Did you notice when you sat on that leather couch or the leather recliner,
the cracks?
I'm
so happy you said that because I noticed that right away. I was like, holy cow.
God.
Like it's such a subtle thing, and I think most people that play the game aren't going to notice those things because they're just playing the game. But like coming from our background, like we went to school for game design for a little bit, and like those little things are just amazing to me because somebody spent the time to like put the detail into the crack. Even the sound of you climbing on, the first thing I thought of, the dentist office. I mean, our chairs aren't cracked there, but like the crack in the leather looks so realistic, and the sound, like there's just so many tiny little details.
Yeah, I mean, because
it's like insane.
You could just think about like when someone does texture over an object like that, they could just, like our couch here, just gloss it over with that texture, leather. But then they went into like, hey, we want to make this thing look like it's worn. We want everything to kind of look like it's kind of shitty.
And another thing is like, so when you start out in the game, you start out in like a section of the city that's like pretty like not poverty, but it's definitely like lower class. But once you get like drive across the bridge to the other side, it changes the entire aspect of the city, like entirely. And it's crazy because like even the people in the streets will look different, and the buildings are way cleaner. It's not as cluttered. There's not trash everywhere, and it looks like an entirely different city. But you're in the same city. Like they did such a good job at like making the districts look like districts.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to go out to the
Badlands,
the Badlands,
or whatever it's called.
Yeah, just to see what that has going on.
Yeah, I haven't been out there very much yet because the city's so freaking big. There's so much to do. Like I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I came in and I'm like, oh man, because it doesn't really like push you in the direction of doing the main story in a sense. It like throws you out after the prologue. You do the Johnny thing to kind of get that character introduced, which is the character that what's his name plays? Wow, Keanu Reeves.
No, John Wick.
Yeah, the Fortnite guy. So yeah, Keanu Reeves plays Johnny Slick. Is it Johnny Slick?
Johnny
Sins?
Johnny Silverhand.
Yeah, but what's his Silverhand? Isn't Silverhand his like nickname, or is that not?
I haven't heard anything different, but that could be his nickname because his arm.
Where am I getting Johnny Sins? That's from something.
Johnny Sins.
Johnny Sins is from something. But anyways, that's
is that your new World of Warcraft character?
Yeah, it's gonna be my New World character. Johnny Sins. Oh my gosh. I know exactly who Johnny Sins is.
What?
It's the bald porn star that you see in everything. He's all over. That's funny because I know people.
Hold on.
I know they're gonna know about that immediately. They're like, "Why does he keep calling him Johnny Sins?" It's not Johnny Sins, Jesus. It's Johnny Silverhands. Johnny Sins is from Pornhub and XX videos. Okay, XXX videos. We all know him. We all love him. He does great work. He's fucking hilarious too. But he's anyways. That's funny. I looked him up and I immediately was like, "Oh, I know who that is." Man,
you're a porn expert now.
Well, you know who Johnny Sins is. If you saw him, you'd be like, "Oh yeah," because he's got a TikTok and he's hilarious on that. And then,
oh really?
Yeah, he's funny.
I didn't know that.
Here,
I don't know his name either. I might have seen him.
I know his name because he's a meme. He's a meme.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Sins.
Oh okay. Yeah.
So, anyways, back to Cyberpunk. I will say.
I'm excited to start these side quests because that's kind of what I like to do. It's
it's so fun.
I try to do the side quest almost first before the main quest.
Mm-hmm.
Not only it's going to help you gear up for the main quest, make the main quest a little bit fun,
right?
But also I've played games where if I don't do the side quest now, they might not be there after the specific mission.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't want to miss out on these things. And that's kind of like a rule I have now. It's like I want to do the side quest. There's
no way you're gonna be able to complete every side quest before the main missions. What I've been doing is like I do like a few and then I'm like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna get into some dialogue. And if you really want to get into like story dialogue, you do the main quest because the side quest doesn't have a ton of dialogue choices or dialogue if you're into that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that stuff. Like, I'll go through and even do, like, the blue dialogue before the story dialogue. And what I found out is when you do that, you can almost figure extra steps out in the main quest. I was doing one last night where, I don't want to, like, spoil anything, but we're in a mega tower, and I was, like, interrogating this girl, and I did the blue dialogue, and I found out, like, a bunch of extra stuff. And it helped me, like, finish the quest faster and in an easier way, too. So, like, exploring those other options is really cool. And it feels so, like, the voice acting in that game is phenomenal.
Oh, it's great.
Like, it's so good. It's not cheesy. It's not, like, cut dry. It's very, very good.
Yes. A couple things. So... what character did you start out with? Like what
Oh, like what path?
Yeah.
Street kid.
Okay, so
Street kid.
So I started off as the corpo.
Yeah.
So in certain dialogues, there's an option for street kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's this. I mean, it's the same for all three. What I was curious though is does it trigger in the same spot?
That's what I was also wondering, and if that's gonna like alter kind of what happens.
It does. It alters your conversation. I don't think it alters the
events
so much. But that could be wrong too, because I found some parts where, like, as a street kid, where we end up starting, like where you're starting, is entirely different to a corpo. They're like actually not welcomed in that area. But the street kids grew up in those like slummy areas with the gangs. So when there's like been a few times where it's really cool because you'll be talking to like one of the main mission like gang members and you'll already know who they're talking about because you're a street kid and you live there. So you already know the main gang members and everything. So you can do street kid interactions and you pretty much skip the like cookie cutter talk of like them playing up something because you can see through that and you're like, well, I lived on the streets, I already know who you're talking about. So I'm assuming for a corpo it's like entirely different.
Yeah, kinda,
because I mean I don't know what the dialogue choices are and I'm sure they probably trigger at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much the dialogue choice makes it so you talk more like corporate, like how corporates would, like you're kind of an ass to, like when we went into a hotel and one of the things was a corpo option. I always pick pick it.
I feel like you should always pick your class's option because it's
like a benefit. It's a perk.
Yeah, it's a perk, but it's also like it's different to every gameplay. So like if you went through and played a Street Kid, it's gonna be different dialogue.
Right. So when we were talking to like the hotel receptionist or whatever that person is, the clerk, and one of the things
is this in the prologue?
Yeah, in the prologue.
See, I didn't have a Street Kid option there.
You didn't?
No, that's what I'm saying. So it is in different spots.
So when you go in, they say like, I'm gonna notify the person you're gonna meet.
Okay.
I had a corpo moment there where they're like, did I fucking ask you to do that?
Oh,
they're like,
that's
no,
cool.
No,
that's
like,
entirely different. That's a story changer.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a huge story changer because mine was like, I didn't have an option. I just said like, no need to do that, or like the orange, and then Jackie stepped in and Jackie said something, and Jackie made up this whole story. Did he do that for you?
No, because I
Did
pretty
he talk
much
about Barcelona.
No, I shut it down.
Entirely different.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I completely shut down her, like, and I basically told her, I was like, let me give you a bit of advice. Just do what you're told. Don't do anything else extra. And she's like,
man, that's cool.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's entirely different because after he said that, we're walking away and we're walking up the stairs, and then T-Bug radios in and she's like, Barcelona? And he's like, yeah, I'm playing the part. Like, I'm getting the part down. And then
see, I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah, that's cool. So it's more of a story changer than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was more of like, oh, it's a cool little extra thing that just changes the dialogue a little bit. Like you're a corpo or you're a nomad or a street kid, but that's cool, man. Because there's like a diner part after that where you're like, you got rescued by a corpo and you're sitting in a diner. I don't know if you did this yet. In the street area, like where you start, like down from your apartment.
Yeah.
And the guy changes the TV, the guy who owns the diner. And the guy like looks over the corpo and he turns around and he's like, hey, I was fucking watching that. And the street kid option's like, hey, calm down. Tom's a good guy. Because like you've lived there, so you've ate at that diner and everything. I'm curious to know if there's a corpo one there where like he comes back and you're like, yeah, fuck that guy or something, because you have no idea who this Tom guy is who's been running this diner his entire life.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think that's dope. That's another aspect that is just so cool about this game. I'm glad it got delayed so many times. I'm not, but I'm also glad because
you know that they always do it for they have their reasons for doing it, and especially with
probably
freaking COVID too.
Yeah.
So
For
they're
sure.
dealing with that. Here's the other thing. Penis size.
Oh yeah.
What you got going?
Genital sizes.
Genital sizes.
You can make your boobies bigger. You can make them small. You can change your nipples. I'm not playing a female though. I'm playing a guy. And you can change your penis. You can also be transgender.
Can also be circumcised or uncircumcised.
Yeah.
Cybernetics, man, it's the future. So what's your penis size?
Huge. It's big.
I chose the smallest.
Yeah, it's big and it's uncircumcised.
See, and I think it goes more with my character because I went with corpo, so it's like, you know, they
have to compensate.
They compensate.
Yes. For it. Yeah, that's funny. I kind of went with the fact that I was a street kid, so I was like, I feel like I'd have a huge cock. Because dude,
I feel like that in real life, but I don't.
Did you customize your character to feel more corpo-like?
I kind of gave him like this a younger corpo, and then
did you cover him in tattoos and shit?
No.
Yeah,
I kind of kept it like I have like a little
clean
bit
cut
yeah
corpo guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I was like, I'm gonna be a street kid, and I made my guy look like a rough fucking gang member. He's got like piercings, he's got tattoos on his face, and not like Post Malone tattoos, but it's crazy, man. I wonder how many people. I feel like Nomad and Street Kid are like the most chose.
Probably.
Thing. I don't feel like
corpo might come off as a little boring, maybe. But I think it was kind of cool because I thought it was going to be like you have extra access to like certain things, not extra, like more than you guys, but like in those certain areas where a corpo would probably benefit, which like in dialogue.
You'll benefit probably more in the richier side of the city, for sure. I definitely thought, though, it was going to change the beginning prologue. It didn't really change it. The only thing that changed it was like the beginning quest until you meet up with Jackie. Well, you meet Jackie in different scenarios, but after that, it's railed to the point where it's the same, except for your dialogue.
And I think that's kind of, you got to think it's got to be insanely difficult to have storylines just complete, because at the same, that would basically mean you're making 3 different
imagine how
campaigns
many different campaign voice lines they had to do because of the...
I know, that already seems like a ton of work.
And they already said that I think there's like 5 different endings.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Damn it.
Well, you don't like multiple ending games?
It makes me want to see all of them.
Oh,
but usually I'll look, on YouTube.
I'll beat it, and then around the time I beat it, everybody else is already like beating it. So I'll just look them up on YouTube and see. I'm sure like each Street Kid, Corpo, and Nomad all have a separate one, and then there's probably like 2 that you can trigger with all of them, but in different ways or something. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into the story if people are like waiting to play it. But let's get... So, like, that's, like, the gameplay aspect of it. I love it. It's awesome. It's super fun. It's nothing, like, out of the... It's nothing, like, crazy new, though. It's not, like... It's pretty cut and dry in the sense of, like, go pick up a quest, go to this place, kill a bunch of people, however you want, may I add. You can hack into them. You can do it stealthy, guns blazing... Fucking use a katana. I've been running around with a katana now. Like, that's it. And a pistol. It's so much fun. And you can build your class up to just be full blades or like full handguns, full assault rifles.
Stuff was overwhelming.
Oh,
like because there's like,
oh my gosh,
there's like all the like tabs, and then you go in, and then there's even more tabs of like perks to like throw stuff in.
Yeah, let's be real. The way they
I think I messed up my skills already because I'm kind of like, I didn't read through all of them.
I think you can max it all out, though.
Really?
I think so.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Because if you level up blades specifically, you can level it up 20 times, blades. And you get skill points every time. So that's 20 skill points there. And then you get a skill point for every time you level.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if there's a max level or what. And then you get attribute points, and what I saw is they all can max out at 20. Now I don't know if that means like you can only get to 20 here and then you have to go to somewhere else, and then if you don't use all your points, that's it. My guess in this kind of game, you're going to be able to max it all out in this RPG style, because it would really suck if they didn't tell you that and then you maxed out like your attributes and like body, and then you didn't have enough at the end to put into intel, so you couldn't craft things.
Well, I mean, usually they would make, if that were the case, there's a way they would let you reset it.
I'm sure there's still a way to reset it somewhere.
Yeah.
They did a terrible job at explaining how to go through the UI in the game.
Yes.
Awful
my
awful
God.
job.
I still don't understand how to pull up my journal. Like, just the journal.
Yeah, I don't know either. I pull up the full screen and then I go over to journal and then look at my quest through there. It's even inventory. I hit I. I usually would pull up your character inventory, dude. It pulls up the whole selection.
Yeah,
the gameplay's awesome, but there's a lot of things that they could have done better. From like,
and this is the first week
they've
it's
already
out,
updated it twice, and I feel like it's running better. I will say, though, it probably could have been delayed again.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it could have been delayed again. It was insanely buggy. It still is, but I feel like they've cleaned it up with that second patch a little bit.
I saw a video of somebody playing on a PlayStation 4, and all the NPCs walking around the city all just blurs because they're playing on a PlayStation 4, and that's going to be insanely hard for that to run.
I feel like it definitely is a next gen game. I mean, if you look at the requirements for PC, it's like 20. You have to have a 1060. You know, which is it's old. I'm running on a 1070, and like a i7 at like 3700, and I run it on an SSD, like it says. You have to almost run it on an SSD. If you're not running it on an SSD, you might as well just not play it. And most people have SSDs in their computers now, but I have to run it on low graphics just to play the game. Yeah. Now, when I say low graphics, everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're missing out." That game looks amazing on low graphics. Like, it's still like one of the best games I've seen on the computer, on my computer, on low graphics. I just can't imagine what it looks like maxed out at ultra. I can play it on medium, which is like pretty much like high graphics on most things, but low on like shadow quality and shit like that.
Yeah.
But it puts it at medium, and it runs fine. It's just a little the frame rates are a little lower, so like when you're in combat it drops. So I just put it on low, and it still looks amazing. I mean, I would be playing it on ultra if scalpers didn't buy all the video cards, but
Scalpers bought all the video cards, so
yeah, I would just say if you're gonna get Cyberpunk.
Do you want to come over and play it on my rig?
No, I don't want to see it until I get my computer built. Dude, it's so good. I love it. Like you said, I'm not sad about buying the game. Like when we bought Godfall, I never had the urge to really like, oh, I can't wait to get on Godfall tonight. It was more of like, I'm going to get on Godfall a little bit. Like now I'm like, all I want to do today is play Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel. I really am liking it, and I feel really good about the purchase. Because Connor was getting annoyed with me because I've been starting to be like this whole.
Well,
it's not
a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing, but Connor gets annoyed because he's like, I want to play with my friend, and
I want to get it right away.
Because I don't want to miss out, and I totally get it, because I do feel if you don't play during the hype, you kind of lose a drive to play it in the future almost. Mm-hmm. Like I say that about like that one game that just came out.
Rising Phoenix or the
Phoenix Rising or whatever. Like I say, like, oh, I'll get that later. Like, I might not get it later because I'll forget about it.
And other games will come out.
I
mean, we still have like Outriders, which is a game I still want to try, but I'm very skeptical about that game because the gear looks awesome, but so did Godfall's, and it's trying to be like a Destiny sim. I just don't think anybody's ever going to go to the quality that Destiny is. Nobody's ever going to... It's like WoW. WoW kind of crowned the MMOs. It's hard to... While not a lot of people play it nowadays, it's hard to make an MMO that will ever be as popular as that game. It's the same thing for Destiny. You know, there's been so many looter shooters to come out that feel that same aspect, but none of them ever succeed. Mm-hmm. Everybody just goes right back to Destiny. But... I'm just glad. I'm glad this game did so well.
Something came out of this year.
Yeah, finally. I mean, New World was supposed to come out. I played that. That game's awesome. I will still play the shit out of that. I think that game is crazy, and they delayed it again, which is good.
Here's something. So for the multiplayer for Cyberpunk, because it's not out yet.
No.
Do you think it's gonna be just like how GTA multiplayer was, where
I hope so. I hope like
it's hard to get on.
An individual character.
Oh no! I mean like, remember the issues we had trying to get on that?
Oh, you're talking about login issues. Yeah, I think so. I think it's hard nowadays to make any multiplayer game. I mean, Destiny 2. I always bring up Destiny, but that's like my main game still to this day. When Beyond Light came out, it's the first time ever in Destiny history there was a queue. I mean, I waited in a queue of 6,000 people before I could get in. Nowadays, I think it's really hard to create something and then judge the player base. I mean, that's Destiny. Mm-hmm. So they were judging like, okay, well, you know, our numbers are way down compared to like D1 and all that because people just moved on. And then D2 still has higher numbers, but, you know, they usually drop at the end of the season because the content gets dry. It is what it is. But they didn't judge that so many people were going to come back for Beyond Light. So, fuck, everybody was waiting in the queues of 6,000. So,
What'd you just say?
Fuck.
No. What were people waiting in?
Queues.
Oh! All right, you guys already know what part of the show this is, and it's the ad part. And today we're going to talk about our Patreon. And over on our Patreon, you can join these tiers that give you more access to the show, like extra content, Discord tiers. You can also send in topics, too, for if you guys want to tell us what to talk about. Connor, what else do we have in our Patreon?
We have Discord benefits. That's a huge thing. The more people we have on Discord, the easier it is for us to make better content for you guys. We also have Patreon games, which I'm really excited about, but that's going to require Patreons. So that's a thing. You play some games with us. We'll set up times throughout the month, play games that you guys want to play. And we have all sorts of different tiers for all sorts of different people. So it all it benefits us, helps us make content for you guys. But we also have the big boy tier. Did you want to bring up the big boy tier?
We can bring up the big boy tier.
What's the big boy tier?
The big boy tier, the waiting in eternity. This one's kind of a joke, but it's there for anyone that wants to be. What it entails?
Don't do it.
What? Don't do what?
Don't do this though.
Oh.
It's there.
It's there. Yeah, it's there. So what this entails is it'll be a printout cardboard of you that we'll keep in the background behind Connor. Cut to Connor's camera. Right there. It'll go right there.
Wow.
So as long as you're a Patreon to that tier, that cardboard cutout will stay there, and you'll be in the episode for as long as eternity lasts. And eternity,
as long as it's paid. And the great thing about it is it's going to be life size. And if you want it to be your grandma, you can send in a photo of your grandma. It's totally up to you. So. Don't do it though. It's literally a joke. It's for it's a joke, but it's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So go over to patreon.com/WIQ. Link will be in the description of the episode. We're back. We hope you enjoyed the new ad.
Oh yeah, we have new ads. I totally forgot about the new ads.
We just need to decide. We still haven't decided. Yeah, we haven't decided which one we're gonna do, but it's already been decided. Obviously, by the time you watch this, so.
Yeah. So we want to talk about Cyberpunk more, but we can't talk about it the whole episode. So we're just gonna
do our final review. I wanted to end it on that scream because I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
So
now this is a review with first impression review, I would call it, because we have not played it enough to be like, this is the review of the game. So are we gonna do it out of 10? Do you want to give it out of a 10, or do you just want to be like, I think it's this? As a whole, what do you think?
I'm gonna for the Christmas spirit, I'm gonna give it out of ornaments.
Okay.
I'll give it 8 ornaments right now.
8 ornaments.
For first impression, we've got bugs, some issues. I still only did the prologue.
Yeah.
And I think 8's pretty fair.
Yeah, I think so.
8 ornaments. 8 ornaments.
8 ornaments. Pop those up on the screen. Pop, 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 pop. Okay.
That's more work I have to do.
Yeah. Pop, 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 pop.
All right, stop doing that because I'm gonna. I'm gonna do it every time you do that. Pop, 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 and stop.
Now you gotta do it.
Nope.
Okay, so out of ornaments, I will probably give it. Yeah, I've probably put like 10, 15 hours into it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 10 ornaments.
No, it does not get a 10 ornament. There's not very many games that I've ever played that have 10 ornaments. I can name a couple, but there's not like a ton.
Fortnite
definitely has 10. Fortnite. Okay, I'll be for real with you right now. I think it's like a 7.5 or 8 for sure. I would say that like when it first came out, the first day, I have 17 hours in it. The first day, super buggy, and I think it was also because I didn't If you're playing on PC, download the freaking game day drivers. I thought I downloaded it. And our Discord. I thought I downloaded it, but I didn't. So I was playing on like old drivers, and it was just like not running well.
Yeah, I did that before I started it, and
I even told you to do it, and I didn't do it. I thought I did. I thought it downloaded.
I'm pretty glad cause the first day it came out, I only played like an hour or two, maybe. I was exhausted from that day.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of glad that I didn't play it that much for them to start putting out those updates too.
Yeah, they put out another one. But I would give it 7.5 or 8. The bugs aren't that game breaking. I haven't noticed any. I'm playing on PC, so I don't have to deal with
7.75.
Yeah, 7.5.
So,
or are you talking about if you put ours together?
No, so you're saying it's between like 7.5 to 8, so it's 7.75.
No, 7.5 or an 8.
Yeah, so that'd be in between.
No, I'm saying it could either be either or, in my opinion. But yeah, I guess that would be in between. But yeah, bugs are not bad. The gameplay's awesome. The storytelling's really good so far. The dialogue's amazing.
Found out new things that our class or whatever you call it, our path has different dialogues in different locations. So that
changes it. All I will say is, if you have an old console and you want to play it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Just it sucks, but just wait. Get a new console or build a PC that can run it, because it's not doing very well. And Xbox actually didn't even get a day one update yet. So
is multiplayer going to be crossplay, do you think?
I think that's a lot. If it is, that'd be cool, because then Mitchell could get it and play. I don't know if he would buy it just for multiplayer.
But see, it's, because he likes Fallouts, and he's been playing like Far Cry. I think this would be a game right up his alley.
Yeah, I think so. He's kind of into that RPG. I would say that like Far Cry is a very minimal RPG.
Yeah.
It's very railed, very, very railed nowadays. But Fallout's not, and this is like Fallout on a bigger and more in-depth scale for sure. Yeah, I could see him. I could see him enjoying it. He liked GTA. I mean, I am really hoping the multiplayer is like that, but we have to wait until next year to get the multiplayer. It's a standalone game, they said, so we'll see.
So Cyberpunk 2077's the game single player campaign. Then the multiplayer game is Amish Hell.
Yeah, Amish Hell is what Derek's calling it because of the technology.
All right, moving on.
But go. You want to talk about the DMCA thing? What I was gonna say though is Cyberpunk also has the option to turn off music, so you don't get claimed because we got somebody trying to turn it into a felony.
Yeah. So, what's the guy's name even? I need to memorize this name and keep him on my Death Note list.
Easy, Derek. Jesus criminy, Derek wants to kill this guy.
No. He's on my forever.
Did you put it in the
ass?
Put it in the host topics?
Yeah, I think I put out the.
Here it is.
My computer's running so god dang slow.
So, like I said, Cyberpunk allows you to turn off the music or some of the music in the game, so you don't get DMCA striked if you're streaming it or making videos, because we all know.
But it's getting scary because Nintendo took down a bunch of content creators a while ago for putting their content on YouTube. So
wasn't that a long time ago?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
They reverted it though, because this was early YouTube that they were doing that.
I think they did it again. I thought here.
Really? Because I know
maybe last year or something.
I know Nintendo was like, no, don't play our game. Don't do gameplay of our games. Don't do that.
Well, they're making it so you can't play any Mario music. You can't have that on YouTube, and stuff like that, and it's kind of scary because if it is becoming a felony, and you are playing games, what's the chance that very small, but it just kind of seems like whenever these companies feel like, oh hey, I want to make this copyrighted, take all these guys down, send them all to prison. What's the when is it going to start being too much of a risk to even just do any
media? Well, the thing is I think it's a way for the government to censor media.
I would say more of it's people with deep pockets. I mean, they even show
exactly deep pocket senators trying to censor media.
I don't think they're trying to censor it. I think they're just getting paid to do the things that these companies want them to do, not like it's their own.
Which is censoring media.
But I'm thinking when you say censor, that makes me feel like they're censoring it because of their own like beliefs and stuff like that.
No.
Where it's just like
it's a different company. I mean, the company can't be like, strike these or make a law to strike this. The company has no way of making a law, so the company has to go around that aspect by paying somebody to do their bidding. So even maybe if it's not the senator, it's the company that wants to censor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay,
but the thing is you also have to be a senator that's slightly in the same mindset of like, yeah, I would get that. You get what I'm saying? But his name is
Tom.
That's a weird way of spelling it. Tills. But the thing is you also have to be taken to court. Like, imagine how many people are like, isn't it like a misdemeanor now?
It's a misdemeanor now.
Like, how many people actually go to jail for it or like get in trouble for it? Like in that
usually
sense.
they just take it down. But if it gets as serious as this, there's probably more so than not, it won't be jail time. It'll be more like paying fines. More so than jail time. Jail time might be like some serious weird copyright deal. But this is just...
I don't think this is for directly towards like content creators though. I think this is more for big name Comcast or big name like companies. Because if you scroll down, you can see his donors.
Yeah, but
and
like
Comcast is like number one.
They have like other. I mean, in this tweet of the article, I mean, it literally says
Sony's
material album on YouTube, video clip on Twitch, or songs in a Instagram post.
Oh, it says Twitch and everything.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! What is with like old?
Well, like
my guess is he's Republican.
Yeah, these are Republicans, man.
Old Republicans and hating technology.
They hate this content creator stuff because
you can say what's on your mind.
I talk to any Republican or like older person of mine, and we talk about this stuff, and they'll hear that like that one kid who made like $1 million.
They're mad.
They get mad about it.
They're salty that
and
there's
they're like,
people out there making content.
They should work for a living. It's like, dude, they're making content, but these type of people hate it. And it bugs me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it should.
Because I mean,
the problem is it's like you said, it's gonna just drive people away from doing it, and the problem with that is that they win again. I mean, the thing about media, and this is why I think Republicans or Dems don't like it very much, is because social media, that is because it's a platform where you can get on there as an individual person, say and speak your mind, and trillions or millions and trillions of people can see it.
Is there even trillions of people on the planet?
Yeah, I'm sure there's at least 1 trillion people on the planet.
I think it's only like
a billion.
It's like 4 or 7 billion or something like that.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, imagine.
No.
Imagine how many times you individually can see it over and over.
Yeah,
but it's the thing is like they have no way of stopping you from posting something without issuing a law. That's what I'm saying by censoring you. They're not only is he getting paid to do it or try to do it, it's a way for the government to be like, you can't do that anymore.
Right.
Which is not very democracy like.
No.
So that's what I'm just saying is these kind of laws here is a censorship to people's rights. I mean, you can't post what you want to post, or I get it, you're using somebody. This is about music and stuff like that, or like clips of something else. So if you put a song in your video, it gets DMCA strike. That's to put it in context for people who don't know. We have one on one of our videos.
Yep.
And the song was played for 13 seconds. That's it. And there was no singing. There was nothing in it. It was just the sound of an Ariana Grande song.
Dude, they've been hounding people and getting strikes for even seconds.
Yeah, singing. Seconds. You could sing the song and they could strike you.
Which it's so dumb. I want to talk about how dumb this is in a little story that I have. So when I browse TikTok and you see a song or you hear a song, how many times have you gone like, that's a good song, I want to look up that song and, add it to my playlist?
Mm-hmm.
Where somewhere like Spotify, where that's something that they see value in and they get money off of for each time it gets played, especially like those companies. Now, when you take that away, is it really worth sending somebody to prison or like paying a fine to the government because you just want them to know about your song and just go straight to Spotify? Just not even. How else are you going to discover it?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of like on TikTok, a lot of the songs you see too are like underground artists, and they want you to do that. But I understand where it's like, well, what if it's a bigger? Why wouldn't they want people to see it? But I don't know. I don't think it's just for audio too, though. It's kind of a weird thing because I would understand like. I think because back when YouTube like first started, there was like this huge problem of like people would make a video, that video then would just be recorded by somebody else, then re-uploaded on somebody else's channel. Now, if you could re-upload it and get more views before the original video, that video that is a copy becomes the original video. That's how YouTube's algorithm works. And in that sense, that's stealing. That should be struck. Right? And I think in their minds they're trying to stop that. But that doesn't, I mean, it still happens. But nowadays people are doing a lot of, Twitch streamers and YouTubers are doing a lot of content where it's just like you watch somebody else and you commentate on the fact that they're streaming. And I think that's a little touchy and weird because it's like you are leeching off of that other person. That's all that Twitch has become. It's just a leech fest of like these guys leeching off of other content creators. Now, the thing is they all know it's happening. This is for bigger Twitch streamers. So they all do it to each other. They almost like stage it in the sense of like, hey, I'm going to leech off you today. Will you leech off me tomorrow? And I don't know if they're like trying to stop that aspect of it, which I don't think they are, because I don't think they're smart enough to even realize what's going on Twitch.
Well, I don't think Twitch isn't really trying to stop anything. Well,
it happens on YouTube too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter the platform. If he said Twitch, they're obviously trying to do something with Twitch.
Well, I don't think Twitch and YouTube really care what happens. They just care as long as people are watching. Like, we don't really care what happens. It's just some of these laws
well, then why
are coming
doesn't
in.
YouTube implement something where DMCA strikes can't be struck as bad?
I don't know.
I mean, it's YouTube's algorithm that hunts down the strikes.
Well, I
it's
think
not
that
like an individual company.
I think the companies invest in the program to have it be put on YouTube to scan for.
Well, YouTube allows it though.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's the same concept of like YouTube's allowing the fact that this is happening. It's not.
But their hands
it's not just individual companies.
Their hands might be tied because of how the DMCA laws work. Because radio stations, they have to pay like those fees to broadcast like those songs, or they have to pay those royalties to play those songs on the radio. And that's what the DMCA and those record label companies, they're like, we're missing out on this money because these people are playing these songs to all these different viewers for free. That's their issue they're having, and saying like, we're losing so much money this way, which in reality it makes people like, oh, I love that song, I'm gonna go out and buy it, or I already have bought it. And
do they have to pay for music?
Yeah.
Radio stations?
Yes. They have to pay that royalty. Spotify has to pay for them too.
Yeah, but Spotify's not a radio station.
No, but it's like a place to people listen to music. It's a music library. They have to pay for it to be on there. But they also make money off of people listening to it. That's obviously how their business works. But
yeah, I just looked it up to make sure because I didn't want to be wrong. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I understand though. I mean, you should pay for somebody's work, but so that's where it becomes a touchy subject. It's like, what gives us the right to put it in our video?
yeah, I get that. But how many times is it like streaming, you're probably going to listen to the full song.
I think a lot of nowadays people don't even play music on their streams. I mean,
they can't now.
For years now, before this was a problem, I think people just kind of got rid of music on streams. If they are playing music, it's like lo-fi music. That's where like lo-fi blew up. And that shit doesn't get struck. It's just like beats made by random artists that they don't. It's lo-fi artists. I mean, I don't think that stuff gets struck for it. Pay Money Wubby uses it in like all his streams. Also, people go around and they make playlists now that are just unstrickable music. You know, so there's ways of getting around it. Also, it's like back in the day, people used to listen to like full-on stations where it was like music with lyrics and stuff. You just don't see it anymore. I feel like it's more distracting to have music playing in your stream anyways. So it's not like the music. It's more the YouTube aspect of things that I'm like, I don't like it because you can't, and it's not just music. It's like you can't, well, yeah, it is music. You can't show a clip of something, like a 5-second clip of like somebody running, or like say somebody's recording something from their car and it was funny or something. You can't put that clip on because in that car their radio's playing.
Yeah.
Like that is when it gets bad. It's like, come on, really? You're not even putting the song on you're not intentionally putting the song on your thing. You're just putting the clip on there. We don't even fucking care about the song, you know?
Yeah.
Or it's
I mean, when people were doing IRL streams and
that's what I was gonna say.
somebody's walking down the street and somebody in their car is blasting a song for like the 3 seconds that car drove by.
That's why our IRL streams died.
Yeah. It's just too dangerous. And then everywhere you go, any grocery store, any place, they usually play music too. So it's like you can't go into any of those places. Usually, I don't think you should unless you ask for. I think you need to ask for permission. I'm not saying you. That's not my opinion. I think sometimes they want you to ask for permission. But
yeah, I mean people recording things all the time, but it's
is this going to be the fall of content creation? Maybe.
No, I don't think so. It'll just pivot. It's already pivoted so many fucking times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at Just Chatting.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like on Twitch right now. I mean, top games are special events, chatting, Cyberpunk, and Destiny, and World of Warcraft. I mean, Just Chatting is nothing but those guys just sitting in the room watching other videos. I mean, it'll just pivot to the point where content creation, and it already has. I mean, Ethan and Hila, they can't do H3 productions because of it, so they just pivoted to a podcast, and now people are doing podcasts more often because you don't have to have that kind of music and stuff. The only thing is you can't show a fucking clip without getting struck or something like that. But I don't think it's gonna be the death of anything. I think if a felony charge gets put in, I don't think it's gonna kill it. If people are just going to avoid it, but it's definitely going to be harder for people to make content. But everybody thought the ad apocalypse was going to destroy YouTube. YouTube's still probably it is still the most viewed thing. I think Twitch has died more than YouTube has. I mean, you have streamers like Miskiff, who's like the king of Twitch right now, even coming out and saying like, after Doc left, the platform's fucking dead. Like, there's nothing to do here. There's like, we've ran out of things to do. That's why we all sit and just chatting. And luckily, Pokemon cards blew up. I mean, there's just nothing to do anymore. It's also because like games come out and they're shit.
I think there's a lot of hype for Cyberpunk being played on stream right now.
It's the highest viewed thing right now. Well, it's not the highest viewed thing, but it's up on there. It's weird how they do the browse now. They don't do it by views now.
Yeah, they changed some of that stuff to be like, oh,
I think it's popularity by click.
Well, they've been changing slow because I don't know if you've gone through like when you click on a category, it won't show you just the highest view. It'll throw in a couple like smaller viewers,
which is good.
Yeah, that's some of the stuff they've been trying to put out there. Is like, hey, we're trying to help the discoverability because we know there's a problem with being discovered on Twitch. I mean, that's why people do stuff on YouTube is to get discovered on YouTube first.
So, to get back to the whole felony thing, though, I don't think it's gonna happen. It could,
dude.
But I don't think it's gonna happen in the aspect of what we think it is. I think it'll be more tied to like cable companies and stuff like that somehow.
Dude, how funny would it be? Like you go to prison, and you're there with like a murderer that did some of the heinous crimes, or like gang members who are like the toughest shit in the West, and they're just like, "What are you in for?"
Oh, I played an Ariana Grande song for 13 seconds.
And they're like,
that's fucking hardcore, man.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
We're going to put some teardrops on your face.
Yeah, for every DMCA strike you get a verification check mark on your eye.
On your eye?
Yeah. Like a teardrop.
Yeah.
Like a Twitter verification notice.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Like it's just the outline of the tear, but inside the tear is the Twitter logo.
Check mark.
Yeah. Oh, the check mark.
A blue check mark. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. What a dumb thing. Imagine that though. I mean, that's what it is. That's what the law would be tied to YouTube. If he tweeted out saying YouTube, it would literally be you could get processed as a felon for playing an Ariana Grande song for 5 seconds.
Dude,
it doesn't have to be 13, 5 seconds.
It even said on social media. Like, how many people record videos at home? Like TikTok dances, like those viral dances. How many people are just gonna...
TikTok's weird, though, because I don't think they have the control of TikTok because it's not owned by an American company.
But you'll still have those people
That's
who
why they
want to post it on Instagram, Twitter.
Oh yeah,
and
repost
Facebook,
the TikToks because I do that.
And then some people just straight up do it on those platforms, too. For people who just aren't into knowing this information, they're more just like, oh, I just like to post it. I like the song. You know what's gonna happen to them? They're like, I didn't know anything about these laws unless there's something that they. I don't understand what's so hard for them to put in something that's like, hey, this is copyright and we don't think you have the rights to this, so we're taking this post down. Like, what's so hard about that? Which, again, that is kind of shitty because
what's their work?
Yeah, it's their work.
That I understand.
And then, like, you'd have to redo.
But it's also, you just got to realize that, like, they aren't specifically making money. That's not true either. It's weird because TikTok, you're dancing to a song. You know, what's that biggest TikTok? What's that biggest TikTok girl name?
I don't know.
Fuck, she's like literally the biggest star on the internet right now.
But like,
Amelia,
you can't even play a full song on TikTok. And they're gonna.
You can play like a minute long song. To 2, well, yeah, a minute because the videos can only be a minute. Yeah, I don't know. It gets the song.
Dude, I found so many songs that I like from TikTok that I go, hey, I'm gonna put that on my Spotify.
Yeah, but like I said, most of them are like underground TikTok artists. I mean, I very rarely find a song from like an artist that is already established that I'm like, oh, yeah, I really like that song.
That's still important for those record companies because if they see like, hey, this guy's getting a lot of popularity, let's see about getting a deal with him.
Fuck that. Don't go to a record company.
I know they shouldn't go to a record company. That fucks them. But
if you can get the popularity, that's another reason they want to do this, though, is because if they can get the popularity because that's not a DMCA strike. If a local artist makes a song, like Ben makes a song, puts it on TikTok, and people start using his songs, Ben's not going to be like, oh my God, they're using my stuff. Ben's going to be like, holy shit, I'm getting up. My song's viral on TikTok. I'm getting millions of views. I'm going to now make TikToks off of that. Yes, he'll probably have record deals come to him, but if you can carry that out and then establish something off of that on your own, do not sign to a record company. Because as soon as you sign to a record company, then it becomes a DMCA strike where people can't do that.
Yeah.
And it's not your choice.
I think what people and a lot of these artists do is that they kind of see the record label as like, I made it. This is what it's the standard to do. Once you've made it, you always sign to a record to get your album out there.
I don't feel like a majority of people feel that way anymore.
I think they shouldn't.
Because there's so many things out there now that you can grow off of.
But
you don't have to do that. It's just like college. You don't have to go to college anymore.
No. But like, yeah, it's you kind of. Someone we went to high school with, she got like a record.
Lauren Sanderson.
She got like a record label, but once she kind of found out the bullshit that kind of happens with record labels, she backed out of it. She's like, I'm just gonna do it on my own.
Yeah.
And do her own thing.
Yeah, you might not make like as much money, but like the fact is you have full creative control of your art.
Well, I think what we mostly get out of getting a record label is just more publicity and more.
Yes, easier. They do all that work for you.
Yeah,
but nowadays,
they pretty much take all the profits from selling CDs. Like they pretty much don't get that.
Right, most of your income comes from
like concerts.
And merch. But the thing is this record labels were in a time where, and they still are a thing. Record labels are still a thing, but like most people just make their own record companies or record labels. Like I think that's what Ben's doing. Or trying to do.
We should do our own and DMCA strike a ton of people.
Oh fuck,
we'd make so much money.
But I
hear one bad fart, DMCA strike.
Oh, wait a sec. That's my fart. They used my fart. That's my fart that they just used. I'm striking this video.
How crazy would it be if we copyrighted fart?
I mean, you could fucking copyright anything, couldn't you? If you had the money to do it.
Let's get some money together.
A fart in the mic. Make a couple fart tracks.
Subscribe to our Patreon to get this thing going.
Yeah, we really need your help. We're trying to DMCA all our farts. We're going to have an entire list of like farts in the mic.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Dude.
We just compile every fart that's ever been recorded, submit that as our content.
We probably have like easily over hundreds of farts recorded on a mic.
Just from me.
Well, I've been like, yeah, most of them from you, but like last night, I mean, we weren't recording, but we played Cyberpunk and I was like just fucking destroying my room.
Oh, I destroyed my room last night too. So, and it's funny because can you not hear it on Discord?
I can't.
Okay.
Mitchell can hear it on the Xbox. Yeah, he can hear mine too. So I'm always like, oh my gosh.
See, I can't hear yours. That's so funny.
That's why Discord's like premium. And it's free.
But it just go.
Speaking of Discord, join our Discord channel. Yeah. It's dope. Yeah, DMCA strike. That's it though. I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen. Just be careful if you're making content. Just be cool, and if you're making music and stuff like that, let people use it. It's nothing but publicity for you. You don't need a record company anymore. I'm sure it still helps, but I'm not in the music career, so this would be something we could talk about with Ben. But
yeah, all we can do is just let the man win.
That's what we've been doing for years. Slowly but slowly, we have ruined our democracy. So it is what it is. We're all giving up.
Thanks for watching.